XRP's price volatility could decline significantly as demand increases. At least, that's the claim made by crypto researcher and XRP community member SMQK. Referencing a document shared in a recent commentary, SMQK highlights that Ripple and IBM have both recognized the challenge of volatility in the crypto space. According to him, the solution isn't in redesigning the asset, but in steady adoption and demand growth. In Ripple's case, the argument is that as XRP becomes more widely used, its price will naturally stabilize. So what's the logic behind this idea? And does it really hold up in the current market environment? Let's unpack the facts, the theories, and the growing debate within the XRP community. The document cited by SMQK, though not named directly, reportedly mentions that Ripple associates XRP's volatility with the rapid expansion of its ecosystem. It also states that Ripple expects this volatility to settle down as XRP sees broader and more consistent use. In contrast, IBM has taken a different route. Rather than rely on volatile crypto assets, IBM focuses on stable digital currencies. These are assets typically backed by fiat like the dollar, euro, or even by gold, aiming to provide predictability and ease of integration for cross-border payments. So while Ripple embraces a future of stabilized volatility through organic growth, IBM leans on stablecoins to solve the problem immediately. This isn't the first time SMQK has made this argument. In an earlier post on X, he referenced a 2022 academic paper by Alex Cobb, an associate professor at the University of Malta. The paper, titled Education and Blockchain, explored how blockchain could be used for tuition payments. It mentioned platforms like Ripple and Stellar as possible solutions due to their speed and low fees. SMQK pointed out that if institutions like schools begin accepting blockchain payments pegged to fiat value, then XRP and Stellar's XLM may need to behave more like fixed-value assets, at least in practice. In other words, the more real-world use cases XRP supports, especially those tied to fiat pricing, the more stable its price might become. This idea isn't entirely new in the XRP community. In fact, a 2021 report from the World Bank described XRP as a stablecoin. The reasoning? Its quick settlement times and extremely low fees. More recently, in November 2024, well-known XRP commentator Radhof Kahneman, often abbreviated as WOK, made a similar point. Responding to a question on why some people doubt XRP's potential for big gains, he said, XRP hasn't moved much and trades in a narrow band, which makes it feel like a stablecoin at times. But he also clarified he didn't consider XRP a stablecoin in a technical sense, only that its price behavior occasionally mimics one. Not everyone agrees with this view. In February 2025, Panos Mekras addressed the growing debate. He firmly rejected the idea, stating that XRP could never be a stablecoin. His argument is based on XRP's design. It's a dynamic, market-driven asset meant to bridge currencies, not hold a fixed value. And to be fair, recent price action supports his position. Since November 2024, XRP has gained more than 300%. That's not something a stablecoin does. Still, it's also true that in recent months, XRP has hovered near the $2 mark. Some say this signals that the market has reached a temporary equilibrium. Others believe it's the calm before another major move. SMQK's prediction that XRP volatility will drop as demand rises might seem optimistic, but it's not unfounded. In many financial markets, assets that gain global trust and consistent use do tend to become more stable over time. That doesn't mean XRP will turn into a stablecoin, but it might become less prone to wild swings as liquidity increases and more institutions integrate Ripple's technology into everyday transactions. Still, we have to be careful with assumptions. Real-world adoption is complex. It depends on regulation, infrastructure, and user confidence. But if XRP continues to grow in usage, especially in institutional payment systems, its volatility may start to reflect that maturity. Thanks for watching. Stay critical, stay informed, and we'll keep following the facts, no matter how the market moves.